There we go. So welcome, ladies. My name's Michelle Molitor. I'm your hostess with the mostest. I'm the founder of the Wonder Woman Unite Lean In Circle. I'm so glad you're here. And for those of you who don't know, who haven't officially checked out the chapter Circle online, we are an amazing group of women executives and entrepreneurs and educators from all over the world. As of today, we've grown to 225 members. We're up 10 new members this month, which is just delightful for me. And we literally have women from every corner of the planet. It just warms my heart. So if you haven't already, go to leanincircles.org. You can register for free. Just look for the online only Wonder Woman Unite Circle and just request to join, and I'll let you in. And we also have a private Facebook group, so we had conversations offline in between the calls. And Zoom is telling me my meeting attendees are waiting. Thank you. And please mark your calendars, because we have these group calls the third Friday every month at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12:30 Eastern and 5:30 British UK. And the rest of you around the planet, I love you, and you have to sort out your own time zone because I don't do that very well. So yeah, and then lastly, for those of you that I haven't met, I'm always happy to have a virtual coffee chat with you over Zoom. So I've had conversations with women all around the world this way. It's been really wonderful just to get to know you and what you do and what you're passionate about in the world, and how we can support each other. So on that note, let's just go around the room briefly and have you guys introduce yourself, your name, where you are currently residing on the planet, and what's one of your strengths that you bring to your work, and then what is your work? So who would like to jump in and start? Okay, I'll start. How's that? I'll make it really easy. So for those of you who don't know, Michelle Molitor here. I am an executive confidence coach and rapid transformational hypnotherapist these days, which is super exciting. And I live in Hayward, California, which is just south of Oakland in the San Francisco Bay Area. And one of my strengths that I bring to my work is I'm super intuitive, so I can really feel into people and understand what's happening for them and help them articulate it more effectively so we can move it out of the way. So that's me. How about you? Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm Barbara Cape, and I also live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live in the East Bay, near Walnut Creek. My company is called Confident Choices. I'm a certified life coach, and the people that I work with are midlife people, baby boomers, who are going through transitions. They can be expected transitions like empty nest, or they can be unanticipated like getting downsized. And unfortunately, there's a lot of those. And the strength that I bring to my practice is a real deep curiosity and a real belief that we have so many choices that we can really fashion a purposeful future. I hate it when people say, I don't have any choice. I have to do this. You don't. You can look at it in another way and figure out which one you want to choose.
Thank you, Barbara. Who's next?
I'll go next. Hi everyone, I'm Cindy Davis, and I'm in the UK. So it's kind of early evening for us here. I just finished my day. I wear two hats. I ran my own IT software consultancy in the recruitment market. And I'm also training to become a certified Christian coach, because I want to start my own, coaching practice. One of my strengths, I guess, is I'm passionate about, women, seeing the change in women, so the transitioning from whatever they are to, wherever they are to where they want to go, and just living intentionally. Because it's something that I've started doing myself over the last couple of years, and I just find it very rewarding and very liberating to be intentional on what you're trying to do. So that's me.
Thank you, Cindy. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I can go next. This is Annette. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Annette. Welcome.
Hi. Good. Annette McGee. I'm also in the San Francisco Bay Area in the East Bay. And I have had a successful marketing career in the food business for the last 15 years. And now I'm following my passion and becoming, or not becoming, I have been an energy healer for a long time. And now I bring that out more into the world. So I help, because I know the corporate world so well, I help people, especially women in the corporate world, find their center and release the heavy energy that comes often with the stress and pressure and worry and anxiety that's so prevalent in so many jobs. So, and my strength is really to be able to help people release those heavy energies that they no longer need, so that they feel lighter and can really tap into into their strengths and what they really want to do.
Thank you, Annette. So glad you're here. Excuse me. Who else? Jill, how about you take it?
All right, sure. I'm Jill Fraser, and I own a company in the Bay Area. I'm Redwood Shores. My company sells fashion accessories, and we dress people like Jennifer Lawrence, Eva Longoria. And my strength, I guess, is in entrepreneurial ventures. I've done food startups, e-commerce startups. So that's it in a nutshell.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Welcome. And let's see, Alpha, how are you?
Good, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my name is Alpha Williams, and I'm actually based in San Francisco. I am a technical program manager, and I guess my strength is I've been in the industry for quite a while. So one of my strengths is in the startup world, helping recognize the younger technical women and helping them, when they have like confidence crisis, during the job, just helping to bolster them. So that's
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. We got a full crowd from the Bay Area today. It's fabulous. Let's see. Jen, thanks for joining us. How are you? We're just going around introducing ourselves. Where are you located? What do you do? And what's a strength that you bring to your work? Oh, did I lose her? Jen, can you hear us? Oh, I don't think she's muted. No. All right. Well, she'll come back in a minute. I just saw her face. All right. Well, I'm very excited that you all are here today. Thank you so much. This is one of my favorite topics to share with people and to have a conversation around. Today we're going to be talking about your power and presence, and it's all about how you show up in the room. What's the energy that you exude through who you're being and how you're showing up. And excuse me. Oh, Jen, are you there? Oh, Mm. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody for just a few minutes until we get all situated. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is really, what is that essence of you? What's the feeling that people get from you simply when you walk through the door? What's that energy that they feel from you before you even open your mouth, right? And what do you want that to be, right? Because it's very easy for us to get caught in our minds about, whatever that crisis is or that challenge or that difficult thing that we're going through. And that all impacts our energy, right? We have energy fields that expand out from us about 2 or 3 feet. And Annette, you can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But people sense that. We have these things in our brain called mirror neurons, and they literally are, I call them little emotional radars, right? They pick up on the feelings of others around us. And how you show up is the impact that you're going to have on others. I always like to say the person with the biggest energy wins, right? So when you're walking into a room, when you're going into a meeting of some kind, be very mindful of what that is. So how many of you have ever walked into a meeting, a boardroom, a group event, and you can feel the energy in the air, like it's really excited, or it's like, oh God, we got this meeting we gotta go to. What have you guys experienced, you ladies experienced around that?
Well, yes, definitely. I mean, there's you can almost taste it and viscerally feel an energy right away when you walk into a meeting, and it sets the pace for the entire meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. And sometimes, I mean, I have tried to kind of open sacred space before a meeting and to kind of calm the meeting down, and it actually has helped. So one can actually change the energy of that room if you know how.
Yes, absolutely. I have a few little screens for us, some slides. So let me just pull those up really quick. And whoops, wrong button. Go here. We do full screen. Interview. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Wrong button. Let me just make it bigger. Can you guys see that?
Slideshow, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Thank you. That's better. Let me move y'all's pretty faces out of the way over here. I'll move that over here. Okay, so can you guys see that? So
Yes.
This is just a quick snapshot of what people, notice, right? So only 7% of what we say accounts for listening comprehension and what people pick up from you, right? 38% is from your voice tone, your modulation, your volume, how quickly you're speaking. And then 55% of what people learn from you or take from you are these facial expressions, your body movement, your posture, your eye contact, the physical space between you and other people, etc. And so know that your body speaks very loudly for you. And if, you are having a bad day and energetically you're feeling kind of down, it can taint. It can have an impact on how that information is received, right? So in your work, ladies, how many of you actually work face to face with people in your day to day goings on?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Jen, Alpha, Jill, how about you ladies?
Yes, I was on mute. Yes, I do. This is Alpha.
Oh, okay. Great.
I do too,
Awesome.
Jen.
And so have you had experiences when, you got out of bed and something happened and your day got off to a really bad start and you could start to see how that had a ripple effect through your whole day? Like maybe you stubbed your toe at the beginning of the day and the rest of the day you're like, rah, rah, rah. We get really crabby.
I have a teenager, so yes.
Yes, they're really good at amplifying this principle. They can be very sullen, pretty much what they're feeling because they wear it on their sleeves. So understanding that energy that your body communicates is really, really powerful. And so when you're working with other people, when you're leading other people, you have to be really mindful of that. And what is it that you want to be communicating? So I'm going to stop this for just a minute. There we go. And so I'm curious, what I'm going to have us each go around and share. What do you think you're communicating through your body language, your energy, and what do you want to be communicating? Answer those two questions for me. Cindy, dive in.
Well, I want to be projecting.
Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I want to be projecting confidence, and I think it depends on where I am. I do all of my coaching on the phone, so when I see people is usually at professional meetings and at networking events. And like most people, I hate networking events. And I've been working very, very hard to not let that show and to be more enthusiastic about it and to just tell myself that once I make a good connection with two people, I can leave. And sometimes it takes a half an hour to make two connections. Sometimes it takes 2 hours, but it seems to be working for me. I mean, I can keep my energy up for that long.
Great. Thank you, Barbara. Who else? What's the energy that you think you have when you walk into the room, and alternatively, how would you like it to be, or what would you like to shift it to if you do?
I'll go. I think with me, I find when I walk into a room, I'm much more confident than I am when I'm in a virtual networking room such as this. So I guess what I would like to project is my confidence and to show that I know about the subject that I am either speaking about, or just that I know myself and I am full of confidence.
Great. Thank you. Jill, how about you?
Might be a little bit different because we deal primarily with Italian vendors too. So culturally, there are some differences. Usually, oftentimes we're in fairly difficult situations by the time we get out to Italy. So I think for me, it's more a matter of being very clear in a sort of a nonverbal manner. So that they understand. Italy, as you might know, is fairly male-dominated, especially in business. And so you want to be concise, I guess, in your communications with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a really great point. And I don't know if we'll have time to get into that today, but understanding the differences between our male energy and our female energy that we all have within us, right? And knowing when to pivot to which side, right? So that's a great example, Jill, of having to deal with a very male-dominated society or business sense. You'd want to switch into that more masculine energy that is more clear, concise, directive, right? Versus feminine energy, which is softer, flowier, more nurturing, more community oriented, right? So it's even learning how to make those subtle shifts in your energy shifts the presence that you have. So if you walked into a room, a meeting with all women, you would have a different type. You would want to use a different side of your energy versus a more male side of your energy. Again, depending on what the meeting was about and what you were trying to accomplish in that meeting. So great point. Jen, how about you?
I think what's coming up for me right now is understanding what energy I'm bringing into a room. I'm not sure that I'm aware of what I'm bringing to the table. I tend to be more introverted. So I think, the reason why I joined the call was to better understand how I can feel and present myself as being more confident. Mm-hmm. So you talked a little bit just now about like bringing different types of energy. So I'd be curious to hear how you do that.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about that in just a minute, I promise. So thank you. Alpha, how about you?
Can you get back to me? There's a call coming in. I need to stop it.
Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem. All right. Well, we'll just.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's great. We can circle back around. Yeah. So, Jen, you bring up a great question. How do we shift that energy that we bring to a room? And so, it's understanding. First, what's the dynamic of the meeting that you're walking into? What's the purpose of the meeting? Are you in charge? Is it a negotiation? Is it, is it just a discussion? Are you there as a thought leader, etc.? So understanding that about each of those situations that you're going into versus, say, a networking situation, as Barbara mentioned earlier. So there's two different ways that you can shift your energy. Two different power styles, if you will. One is called playing high and the other is playing low. And they both have their place depending, again, on what you're trying to communicate. So let me just kind of talk through these and we can, I'm going to have you guys cite, think about examples of where you've done this or you've seen someone do this. And so playing high, this tends to be a more masculine energy. And it's about being more authoritative. So that could look more commanding, right? When you're playing high, you want to expand your energy. Like you want to open your chest up. A very male way of doing it is they tend to put their hands back like this. You'll see them in a boardroom, right? They're making themselves bigger. And it's a very subtle form. It can be used as a subtle form of intimidation, right? Depending, bless you, of how you're doing it.
Thank you.
Another way to play high is being very clear, making direct eye contact, speaking very clearly, concisely, and slowly, moving smoothly through your space versus kind of a herky-jerky that might be communicated as less than confident. Leaning back is another way of, I'm taking charge. And so if you're tilting your head up, leaning back, and then you're looking down at people, again, these are really subtle nuances about how to create that power play, and who is having the more dominant energy in the room. And so what are some examples of how you've experienced this in your world, in your, meetings and people that you've dealt with? Anyone have an example to share?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the leaning back with the arms behind the shoulder, behind the head, that's especially, I felt, yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen that so many men are doing that in meetings in the corporate world. And I mean, oftentimes, maybe even small men, short men that want to appear bigger.
Yes. They poof themselves up. Alpha?
Yeah, sorry about that earlier. So I've definitely noticed that a lot, and I'm kind of attuned to it because I've been surrounded by a lot of men. One of the things that I find, and I have to consciously take care of it as I've gotten older, is, you come into a conference room and they take up more space and they get into your space. So you've got to either, I found myself kind of taking up less space, and now I try and kind of just maintain my space.
Great point. Yeah, because they will sprawl energetically if you give them the chance, and so you have to literally expand your energy, right? And Annette, you might have a suggestion for folks on how they can do this, right? So we have these energy spheres that expand out from our core. Excuse me. And so before going into a meeting, before going into a meeting, take a moment to really get grounded, get really clear on what's the outcome that you want to help facilitate or generate inside of this meeting. Another one of my favorites is taking the power pose, right? And this is scientifically proven. Let me just I have one slide here I'll pull up, which Amy Cuddy is actually a researcher here in the Bay Area, and did a, where is it? Where'd it go? Hey. Come on now. Here it is. There she is. When you, all right, I don't know what's happening here. My slide share doesn't want to operate properly. Anyway, can you guys see Miss Wonder Woman there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that power pose where you stand with your hands on your hips like that, right? And it actually shifts your body chemistry. It releases endorphins and serotonin, actually, which makes you feel more confident. And so I often do this if I'm going to go give a speech and I'm a little nervous. I'll go into the restroom, into the stall, and I'll just stand there with my hands on my hips, right? And okay, I got this. I'm grounded. It's just, and visualize that energy coming down through me and really grounding me, because that helps expand your energy and creates that different kind of impact that you're looking to create in the world, right? In some of my talks that I give, I actually have the whole audience stand up and Wonder Woman, or you can do this too. You stand up and put your arms above your heads like this. Again, it creates the same effect physiologically in your body that helps you get more grounded, feel more strong and confident, so that you can walk into that room and be like, I got this. It's all good, right? especially if you're dealing with a very male-dominated organization or society. In Italy, it's very, very much that case. Annette, I'm curious, do you have any other suggestions on how to expand one's energy, take up more space?
Well, I would say definitely I agree with the grounding, and so the way I do it is I imagine from my core chakra, my core energy center between my legs, just imagining it like a big tree trunk going down and connecting to Mother Earth, to the center of the planet, and releasing really all the energy that doesn't serve us or that makes us weak, that not feeling confident, all these things. And then I'll open up like an energy center above my head and bring in light energy from the top that energizes me in that way. So that usually helps. It kind of clears it and then fills you up with confident energy.
Beautiful. Yes, I totally agree with that. And I actually have a guided meditation that I created a while ago that helps you do that. So if that's something you'd like, it's a free meditation that I have. I'm happy to share that with you. But yeah, so those are all different kinds of things to be cognizant of. I also have another slide here on just noticing different body postures and other people, right? Here we go. So noticing how you're holding your body and what that's communicating, because nonverbal, as we've been talking about, nonverbal communication is really what counts. So you can see here in different ways, if you've got your hands crossed across your chest, that's a very closed posture. That's a kind of a defensive posture. Or if you're standing with your legs crossed, that says, a lack of confidence, actually. So to present more confidently, you want to stand grounded with both feet apart, kind of hips width apart. Noticing eye contact, how people have their hands. You can put your hands on your hips. That's another way of expanding your space and making yourself be more big, right? That way of playing high, if you will. Noticing how you hold your head, looking people in the eye or not looking people in the eye. And again, there are cultural differences here too that we have to be mindful of. But with everybody here on the call, being, from the States and the UK, it's a little different than if we had folks who are on the phone or on the call from Asia, which we've had. I'd be really curious to know how that plays in their culture, because it is very different. So if you look too directly into people's eyes, it can have a negative impact, right? So just starting to notice how you're holding your body as you're going into meetings. And even if you're working with folks on the phone, how you hold yourself, again, still has an energetic impact. I work with people all around the world. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm extremely intuitive as a coach and a hypnotherapist, and I can feel what's going on for people. And so if my energy is shut down, I know it's going to have an impact on them. So maintaining even the positive posture and openness when I'm on, Zoom calls and phone calls with people in different ways, shapes, and forms. So just start to notice that. But, play a game with yourself as you're going into different meetings. Start to notice what are the different postures that people have, and just tune into your own intuition about what you're sensing from those people. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it curious? Is it hostile? Is it condescending? Is it welcoming? Just start to notice these things. Another power style that I wanted to share with you is called playing low. So we have playing high, that's, expanding your energy, being more grounded and powerful, and playing low. And I say this and not in a bad way, but it tends to be more of a feminine energy way of operating, because it's in our nature to operate more this way, where we lean in more, or we're more curious. We tend to nod more, make sure that we're on the same page with someone, because what that does is it creates a feeling of trust and safety, which the feminine energy is all about creating trust, safety, nurturing, that sense of community. So other ways to play low and to create that understanding is to smile and nod. Oh, there goes my power. Are you there? Uh-oh. Hello. Phew. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Anybody? We're still recording. The power bleeped off.